Hey you guys, this is going to be Money Series number 4. And today what I want to talk to you guys about is why you need the second bank account with the recurrent transfers. So one of you guys asked me, why do I need that? That seems like counterintuitive. It seems like one extra step that I don't really need. Fair question, and I think that's a really fair question. So we're going to go ahead and answer that together today. So we're going to start off this Money Series number 4 with one of my favorite quotes. It's my quote, and it goes like this. If you can nickel and dime yourself to poverty, you can nickel and dime yourself to wealth. Most of us nickel and dime ourselves to poverty. We eat out, we go to fast food restaurants. $5 here, $10 there, no big deal. It all adds up. Let's go out for dinner, let's not cook, let's buy expensive groceries, let's fail to have a plan. You're nickel and diming yourself to poverty. And you could reverse those decisions and you could nickel and dime yourself to wealth. So I think that that's a really cool concept, and I'd like to see you kids do that. Now, for the sake of answering the question that I got asked, which was why the second account, I feel like I need to I tried to explain this, but I'm going to try to explain this to you guys visually, maybe a different way. So in the big picture, you guys got to see, oh, okay, this is what the big picture is going to look like. I'm going to show you a different drawing of the big picture. So just give me one quick second, and we're going to get after that. Okay, here we go. So in the big picture, this is what it's going to look like, and this is why we need the second account. We're going to call this buckets of money. Okay, buckets of money. Pretty simple, right? So we've established that we have our income and that we have our bank account. That's where our employers deposit our checks, so, or our money that we've earned. So that's great. So our first bucket of money, well, that doesn't sound good, is our checking account, okay? So how come, This is our checking account. Yours might be called something different. It might be called a savings. It doesn't matter. Basically your primary bank account, or your checking. And out of this account, so some of the rules about this account is that $5,000 is zero in this account. If this account reaches $5,000, you're at zero. Consider that. And what that does is that gives you a month grace if you have, maybe 2 months grace, depending on what your cost of living is. If you have an emergency or you lose your job, you have a little cushion here. That's the whole purpose of 5,000 being zero. Out of this account, so 5,000 is zero. You need to have more than that, enough to pay your bills. And what else do you need? Bills and just every day. Everyday spending, okay? So that's what this first bucket is for. Now, in my instructions to you kids, I told you, get a second account, get a second savings account. Okay, so this is your second account. And in the second account, the money from this one, we are going to spill it over in those recurrent automatic transfers, okay? So I'm not going to have a lot of space. So this line right here is recurrent auto recurrent automatic transfers, you guys. That's what goes into this second bucket. Now, In one of the other videos, I talked to you guys about because we're in Canada, so for us it's tax-free savings accounts and RRSPs, but if you're in the States, it's 401ks and Roth IRAs. You're going to have 2 more accounts that I told you had to talk to your financial institutions about. That other bucket is your tax-free savings account. And remember I said that this has to have brokerage abilities. You have to be able to buy and sell pieces of companies in this. So I'm just going to put stocks. By the time you guys are going to be doing this, you're going to have to know what stocks are. So, I mean, we'll get to that lesson, but you need to set that up as a brokerage account. And then the other bucket that I told you, or the other account that I told you should have, is an RRSP. Same thing with the ability to buy and sell pieces of companies. So same thing, this needs to be a stock account. Okay? And then I briefly touched on it, but the third one of these brokerage accounts is going to be a cash account. A cash, where you buy and sell stocks. All right, well, we smashed that. That little chalk up pretty good. Okay, so we have these. Now, here's why. And here's the reason why we have the second account. This has a maximum contribution limit. You don't just put money willy-nilly into this. You need to make sure that you're not over-contributing, or the government is going to tax that money and it's going to nickel and dime yourself to poverty. So don't do it. This is why this is separate, and we don't have automatic recurrent deposits into that. We have to control what goes into this account because there is a maximum, all right? You need to be on top of that. Same thing. This RRSP, there's a maximum contribution limit. Most people don't hit it, but you want to be controlling the flow, especially in these ones. You want to be controlling the flow. So from this account, you're going to be depositing money into your tax-free savings. From this account, you're going to be making controlled, intentional deposits into your RRSP. And then, also, if this account gets too big, and what would be too big? I would say over $20,000. So let's put it right, this one right here, we'll go right here. So this one should be 20,000, okay? 20,000 in that account, because every year it's going to, about 6,000 is going to get transferred into this one. Maybe 5,000 or 6,000 is going to get transferred into this one, bringing this one way down. And what you have left, maybe say you want 10,000 to be your zero, because this needs to be building enough that you can make your max contributions every year. And then if this one is over 20,000, you don't want that just sitting there doing nothing. This one is just your holding tank to distribute it out to the other ones. The rest of it is going to go over here into your cash brokerage account. This is the one that you pay taxes on. So the reason why we start with this one first, we've already paid our taxes on this money, and anything that grows inside of this is tax-free. The second one is this one, and the reason why we want this one is because this is going to make our tax return bigger while we're making a lot of money when we're young. We start taking this money out, we start paying taxes on it only when we're old and our income is tiny. And then this third one is the one that we are going to pay capital gains on all our growth. So it's the third one. So it's how it spills. So this is why you need a bank account for your everyday transactions and your bills and your rent and your food if you choose to nickel and dime yourself that way. And then you have your recurrent automatic transfers into here. You let this thing grow, all right? And then you start distributing it in a controlled manner into your tax-free savings account, into your RRSP. And if you have extra and you want to see that grow, into your cash brokerage account. And so that's about all I have to say about that, you guys. That's the reason why we do more buckets. That's what our buckets look like. If you have different ideas on what might work better, then sweet, I'd love to hear that. And as always, I want to see you guys thrive and succeed and be brilliant and be wonderful, just like the people I know that you are. And Mom loves you. Go get them. Get after it. Have an amazing day. Bye.